And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies Beyond. I am Callum. That is Kyle. We're bringing you some good movie news. All these topics down below to the left of me. No, the right of me. The left of me. The left of me, but the right of me, but the left of you.
Callum, you're gonna give people a fucking seizure.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
Kyle, how's your day been, mate?
it's fine, mate. Yeah,
It's fine. You've been working?
yeah.
You've been working hard, hardly working. Sounds like you. So should we just get into it? Just want to start.
Ideally, yeah.
I'm hungry, Callum. You always finish and say you're hungry. Right. Anyway, James Gunn has been on the good old social medias. We would kind of like him to stay away from the good old social medias, but James Gunn has been on them. And someone's asked him when we get a Superman trailer, and he said it's on his hard drive. That means he's got the trailer on his hard drive. It's ready to go. Now, Kyle, when do you think we're getting this trailer? Do you think we're going to be getting it within the next couple of weeks? Do you think it's going to be by the end of the year? Do you think it's going to be at the beginning of next year? So many different opportunities to drop a trailer. But when do you think we're getting it? If you just had to say by the end of this year or beginning of next year.
I'd probably say by the end of this year, just as like a big send off to like kind of not stick it to Marvel, but to kind of say, look, DC's still in the game here. You know, Marvel's getting a lot of I don't want to say like massive praise, but they're getting a lot of goodwill with the trailers that they're releasing as of late. You know, for Thunderbolts, which looks amazing, and obviously Captain America 4, which looks pretty good. So you know, that's one thing I think where it's like, yeah, they're not. It's not like back in the day when there were rivals, is it? You know what I mean? Like, if anything, it's like they complement each other now. It's just they both exist.
Kevin Feige said it beautifully. He said, if they're winning, we're winning. If they're making good comic book films, people are going to come see our comic book films because all comic book films are good. So
yeah, so I agree with that, and I think Kevin Feige is dead on with that. And it's been proven. We've seen it. If rivalry can. Competition can be good. It can help bolster up things. I'm not saying it's not. But in this day and age, and especially now with the bad rep that Marvel has gotten, there's nothing but goodwill that they need. They can't have anything sort of like any negativity towards it. So, I still think that there's, it's not going to be like how it was back in the day. It's not going to be like how DC's trying to catch up with Marvel or anything like that. But they're definitely going to be still not rivals, but they're definitely going to be still on. It's like, okay, they're releasing their movie at this time of the year. We need to release a movie at another time of the year. But I want to say this though. I am not opposed to the idea of something like Barbie and Oppenheimer. A DC and a Marvel film coming out on the same day. I think that'll just be really good and beneficial for both sides of this, and it would be a great day for any comic book fan.
I think this comes out
two great films.
This comes out a week after Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I think, or it's the other way around. Do you just want to check dates for us real quick? For Fantastic Four, First Steps, and Superman. I'm pretty sure one of them's at the beginning of July and one of them's at the end, or there's a week between them or something like that. But yeah. Look, I personally think though, we're going to get this trailer Christmas Day. I think it's a great chance to drop the trailer. Everyone's going to be at home with their families. Everyone's going to go, trailer for the new Superman, let's all sit down and watch it. Get everyone pumped for it when all the families together and all the families go, we all need to go see that together. I think that's a great opportunity. It might drop before then though. I know there's a few like conventions coming up and stuff like that. I know
but I think you're right. I think you're dead on with that though. Like, getting to sit down, it's like the nerd of the family will get everyone to sit down and be like, no, watch this Superman trailer, it looks good. And it's not going to be like the other Superman film And as much as I really love Man of Steel, I don't think it's going to be anything like that. This is a much more hopeful, a much more.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, like a much more
Well, let's just say what James Gunn
hopeful
said.
Superman. Let's
Let's
say
say
that.
what James Gunn said. When he wrapped up shooting on this, and he, did his whole, like, after production stuff like that, and he did his post with alt cast, and he says, when he set out to make this film, he set out to make a film about a good man. And that's hard. Because I think we all like to think we are good people. But we're not. We all do.
Think for yourself.
Kyle, I know you're not a good person.
Mate, you're not either. At least I think fucking. No, I won't say.
No, say now, because it's going to make me look like I've done something weird.
Nah, Callum just sent a very stupid meme to someone and got banned. You can cut this out.
All right, no, yeah.
But yeah.
What, on PlayStation?
The person didn't find it funny.
He was shit talking me. Anyway, it was just a meme. Just a meme.
Yeah.
Don't do them eyes. It wasn't even that bad. You're making it out to be really bad.
Or a statement.
But yeah.
I'm joking. I'm just having fun with it.
I'm a good person, all right? God, that's going to be taken out of context years down the line. But yeah, would you agree, though? I mean, yeah. Trailer, Christmas Day. I think that's the perfect time. I know we've got a couple of, like, South American, like, Comic-Cons coming up and stuff like that. Like, I think there's another Brazil Comic-Con. We've had Brazil D23. I think Brazil Comic-Con's coming up later down the line.
I don't think. Do you know what? Thinking about it, Colin, I don't think. I think you're right. It is going to be Christmas Day, just because if you release it at whatever Comic Con you do, whether it is Brazil or wherever, it's not. I just don't feel like it's going to have a. It'll have a big audience, but you're going to have the audience there for Comic Con. Fans are going to know, fans are going to see it. It's going to be everywhere online, of course. But Christmas Day is like, it's a day when not a lot of people, people will be on social media. I mean, traditionally you don't really use it as much, but people are these days. Let's be real. And having people talk about this alongside, celebrating Christmas and whatnot, it kind of makes sense to me. It's a big statement of saying look, there's this trailer here, there's this movie coming out.
Yeah.
And, I think it definitely would be stronger to release on Christmas Day rather than at a Comic-Con.
Especially if they do like a build-up to it.
Yeah, especially it's just because, I get it, it's a Comic-Con. I understand what you mean. It's a big convention, all the big fans are there, everyone's going to view the trailer, it's going to be viral worldwide, but this is a special time for a lot of people that aren't comic book fans, and they're going to see it on Christmas Day. It's like, oh, that looks all right. Like you say, gathering around, people watching it. I think that's the type of thing we'll get from this. So,
and don't get me wrong, I'd love it
Day
to come out at one of these conventions because we get it earlier, the trailer.
Yeah.
But I think the perfect marketing strategy is Christmas Day. I'm pretty sure The Force Awakens did this as well, a year before the film came out. Did a film on Christmas Day.
It's a nice Christmas present for everybody then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a nice free Christmas present that you get to, all open together. But Kyle, just letting you know, mate, if that trailer does drop on Christmas Day, we've got to film a video.
Oh, great. Well, I don't think I'm doing it on Christmas Day anyways.
Yeah, because your dad left you. So, see, not a good person. Not a good person.
Yeah. So the release date, anyways, for Fantastic Four First Steps is July 25th, obviously 2025, and then it is July 11th for Superman Legacy.
Okay, so we got about 2 weeks between them. Exactly 2 weeks, actually. All right, that's interesting. So if Superman comes out and absolutely smashes it out the park and has this feel-good superhero vibe, which it seems like Fantastic Four's going to have as well, it'll only be beneficial to Fantastic Four. Even though they're different companies and stuff like that, And could we just say, like, what an absolute slate we've got for 2025? Captain America 4,
boy.
Daredevil Born Again.
I will say this, just to end the topic here. What do you, just something fun, so, you know, a little experimental.
I love
What
it when
would you
Kyle asks me
think
questions.
is-
I love it when Kyle asks me questions.
What movie? You know, it can be something that's slated to come out, or it can be something that's supposed to come out, whatever, or it's something that you would like them to do. Okay, obviously.
Yeah, he's asking me a question. 1 minute. Yeah. What?
Fucking weirdo. What film would you like to see both Marvel and DC to release on the same day?
Same day.
And, the same day release, yeah. What film would you like
Now,
it to be?
that has already been and gone. And it was going to happen. It was when Batman v Superman and, at the time, Captain America 3 was slated to come out at the same date. And then it got announced that it was Captain America Civil War and it was going to have Iron Man in it and everything. And they were still slated for the same date. Everyone always forgets this. And look, I like BVS more than most people, I think. But DC ran from that release date. They didn't want to compete with Marvel. Even the box office. Who would have thought, right, Kyle, in 2016, a film with two of the biggest superheroes in the world, in fact, the two biggest superheroes in the world, Batman and Superman, without a doubt, would have sold less tickets and done fewer, box office than Captain America and Iron Man. If you'd have said that to someone 10 years before the film came out, they'd have gone, you're taking fucking piss there. But no. So, BVS actually moved the date up and was like, oh no, we're coming out early for the fans. Don't worry about it, guys. And then...
Old DC.
So that's what I'd have loved to have seen.
Yeah. Write down in the comments what you're...
Yeah.
You know.
But upcoming releases. I don't think it'd ever work, and I don't think they'd be dumb enough to do it in the same year, but like an Avengers and a Justice League film.
I think that's a lot of it would be very cool.
Yeah.
It would make history, but I don't think it would benefit the companies as much.
No.
I'm thinking something where it's like a standalone character. I'm gonna go with, for my choice, is Batman, the Batman Part 2, whatever they may call it. And Spider-Man 4 for me.
Okay, well, the Batman Part 2 is coming out in October of 2026, and Spider-Man 4 is coming out in July of 2026, or June or July of 2026, so sorry, mate.
No, but I'm saying it would be cool to have a day-and-day release of like two of my most favourite, a lot of people's favourites, comic book characters, because it's like that Barbieheimer effect where you go in, you watch something like Oppenheimer and it's so serious and gritty and almost grueling, but it's a brilliant film. And then you go on to something like Barbie and it's hilarious, it's silly, it's fun. It's kind of like the one opposite end. So Batman would be the serious one and then Spidey would be the fun one. It would be a great day out.
I still, every time we talk about Barbenheimer, I still tell people, go back about a year on our channel, watch our Barbenheimer out of the theatre review, right? And then watch our Oppenheimer out of the theatre review and just look at the mood change, right? It's like...
It was very late.
It was late.
Yeah.
But it could be a meme format that coming out of Barbie, coming out of Oppenheimer.
Literally, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, guys, like Kyle said, let us know down below what movies you'd like to come out on the same day. I would like all movies to come out on the same day for the rest of time, and that'd be my birthday. So then I get to see all movies on my birthday. Because it's all about me. Anyway, moving on, Kyle. What If Season 3, the final season of What If. We're getting that on December 22nd. And holy fuck it, I'm not even going to talk about, like, well, we are going to talk about the trailer, but let's just skip right to the fucking end. What the fuck is Storm doing in this?
It's weird. It kind of feels like I don't know, going out with a bang. But
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
yeah, it's cool.
It's very fucking cool. And the Thor version of Storm.
It just feels a bit like I get they couldn't do it earlier, but at the same time I'm like, it's just strange that they do this for the end. You know what I mean? Like I thought maybe okay, you know, this is like something that could tease into maybe getting a season 4 or whatever. But the way I view this column, you know me, I was quite excited for What If. I was genuinely looking forward to it, and I was quite let down. I can't lie to you. The animation style looks great, but the way the animation is, if that makes sense. The movements and things, the actions, it just feels a bit. I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Do you know my biggest thing with the animation of What If?
Go on.
I can't tell who the fuck anyone is. Everyone looks the fucking same.
Yeah, I think that's another thing as well. The facial stuff is a bit weird. So, yeah, but for me, like, you know, the first season that I watched, I think the only one I recall really enjoying was the Doctor Strange one. I mean, I like the Hawkeye and the Black Widow one as much of a stretch as it is. But again, it's What If. It's, you know, whatever can happen. I think I was just really let down by the zombies episode, and I know we're getting dedicated
a full show
to the zombie stuff, but again, I was just so let down by the whole thing. You know, the Black Panther Star-Lord episode, that were pretty cool. T'Challa Star-Lord, that was nice.
Yeah, I liked that one. Yeah,
but you know, other than that, I've never took it seriously, and it's never. It doesn't seem like it's going to impact the main MCU in any way. So it's like, okay, I don't really need to watch it. It's unlike, you know, the X-Men 97, which, you know, it does have the Marvel Studios kind of, you know,
Marvel Animation. Yeah.
Marvel Animation, whatever. But it could be connected to the MCU, but it's not. And it's like, it doesn't need to be, because that show's fucking amazing. You know, from what I've seen at least, or that season, I guess you could say. But this is something I'm like. I was kind of let down. I was a bit like, okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, there was a cool moment in this trailer with the big robot Avenger. I thought that was pretty cool.
Avenger Assemble. Some Voltron shit.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But the Storm thing just feels like a sort of like it's chucking out a reel to get, you know, not chucking out bait to kind of reel fans in to watch this, because I don't think it's been successful. You know, yeah, it got to 3 seasons, but that's it. We're not getting any more.
Well, this is the longest running Marvel Studios TV show. It's got the most seasons out of any.
Yeah, but I think it's probably the least successful.
Well,
to be honest with you,
we're getting a Red Guardian Winter Soldier team up in this, so that we're getting that before we actually get it in Thunderbolts, which looks fun. But I do want to say about the Storm thing is, this is what If is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a crazy concept. Like, what if, I know it's been done in the comics, what if Storm was Thor, or the goddess of thunder, or god of thunder, however you want to say it. That's how you do What If. You don't just go, oh, what if we take these characters that you like and we just change one little thing and it doesn't actually change that much when it comes to it.
It kind of felt like they were trying to push that whole multiversal thing. It's like, hey guys, we're doing the multiverse, and you know, it's kind of like you've got the main MCU and it splits like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like. But this feels like a complete divergent. It feels like it's still sort of that universe, but the divergent, the what do they call it in Loki when it's not got a special name out. If that's a hand job column, then Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the
time splits off. The timeline splits off, and you get
a branch.
A branch, yeah. I don't know why that took me forever to get.
I would try to just see if you would figure it out or not.
A branch timeline. That's what it is, and you know, it didn't really feel all that. It felt you know what, Callum? It felt like it was trying to be too different to a point where it was like it just kind of alienated a lot of people, and it was like this isn't anything we want to see. Like except for maybe the Ultron winning, that was cool.
That were a good one.
Doctor Strange going back over and over again in time. Again, that were cool, but yeah, it just feels like random shit. Just like there's no real thought put into it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the final season, maybe they can go out with a bang. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, there was some fun stuff in this trailer, but ultimately, will it be good? I don't know. There was some episodes I enjoyed of season 2 of What If. You know, there was a Hela and Wenwu one. I thought that were really fun. But like you said in this one, the Voltron Avenger was the Moon Knight one. It looked like in there. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And it's the end as well, so it's not like they're gonna continue to keep shitting this out. I didn't really want to say that, but they've got like the priorities now.
Yeah, it definitely means that they can put priorities on other projects, you know what I mean? Like that Spider-Man show, hopefully that turns out to be good. X-Men 97, whatever they're doing with that, if they're continuing to make that, which I'm pretty sure they probably will be. You've got other things that are, you know, it's a rumoured, it's probably just people talking online, it's probably not even real, but the possibility of the 90s Spider-Man coming back, you know,
Yeah.
that'll be pretty cool. You know, we got a little tease in that in X-Men 97, so... you know, there's lots of possibilities.
I do feel like we're just getting this, though, because it was already animated.
Yeah.
So there's no point in wasting it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I think we're getting this. Like, we were getting little teasers for this at the end of Season 1. No, at the end of Season 2, or What If, which was a year ago. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get on to our next trailer. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Now, we saw Dead Reckoning. Was it last year Dead Reckoning came out? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, because we had the channel.
I feel like it.
We had the channel. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
Feels a lot longer. Like a lot longer. 12th of July, 2023.
Yeah, so it was last year.
Yeah, just over a year.
Just over a year ago. Now, we've got a trailer for what was originally part 2 of that part 1, but now it is just known as Dead Reckoning, and now this is Final Reckoning. I'm gonna say it. I didn't love this trailer, even though I've loved all the films pretty much. This trailer just didn't win me over or excite me. A couple of takeaways I've got from it is we've got Paul Clementif back in there. Looks like she's joining the team. I'm excited about that. Obviously, that's Mantis from Guardians. But yeah, this trailer just didn't do it for me. Now I'm still excited for the film. I don't think it was a bad trailer. I'm just not there yet. I'm not.
The vibe I got from this trailer was it felt very much like it was trying to reminisce the old style of how they did trailers years ago, which weren't that great most of the time. That's kind of the vibe I got from it, and it was trying to get you to be like, okay, this is the final one, guys. Look at this. It's like, okay, we get it. Stop fucking showing it in his face. Just show us something. Make the trailer look cool. You know, excite us for that. Excite us for the film. Don't excite us because it's the fucking end. You know, you're basically just screaming in our face, this is the final Mission Impossible film. And it's like, we get it. So that's the vibe I got from watching this trailer. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Colin. I'm still excited to watch this. I enjoyed Dead Reckoning Part 1, if you still want to call it that, but it's not anymore. So,
Yeah.
you know, I would like to go back and watch all of the Mission Impossible films. I've only watched, I think, 3 in total, which... you know, but I've enjoyed every single one I've watched. I've really, really enjoyed, and you know, going to the cinema to see this, Dead Reckoning last year was really fun, and I was very excited to see the part 2, but now as the Final Reckoning. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I think if we go back and watch our review, I can't really remember what I've said about the film because I've only seen it that once in the theatre. I'd love to see it again. But because it felt like a part one, wasn't really inclined to go back and watch it again until like we got that second part. If you know what I mean. But I did like it as well. It's like it told a story, but it's left it very not open ended, but it left it with there's more to tell. But I'm still excited because they went on an absolute tear. They had Mission Impossible 1, which is great. It's a classic. 2, I'm not really a fan of. 3 is okay. But Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, Fallout, fuck me, them 3 films are amazing. And then you got Dead Reckoning, which is a good film as well. So they're on a fucking winning streak. Obviously, Dead Reckoning didn't do too well at the box office. And I've got a feeling that's because they put part 1 at the end of it. Some people, I think part 1's a big turn-off. I think that's why Marvel got rid of Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. Probably thought, no. Some people might just go, well, why would I go watch that when it's not even going to be finished and I can watch the next part next year? Watch it all as one.
Here's the thing, though, Callum. Dead Reckoning still very much feels as great as the film is, and we both agree. We both really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it does feel like a part 1.
It does, but a good part 1, not like one of them old part 1 films that you'd watch and you think, oh my god, I've just literally seen all of Act 1 and half of Act 2. No, it was a full story. I
think it's one of those things where it's like, I think a lot of companies are trying to replicate. I think for me at least, from what I've seen, is the Harry Potter films when they did the final 2 as a part 1 and 2. I think that worked because, both films are quite distinctive, and I think, it could have probably just been its own film, but because they're basing it off of something, these are based off of novels. It's like, this is a big story, and you're going to need 2 films to tell it. Whereas, like, Mission Impossible, as far as I'm aware, it's not really based on anything. It's kind of just, they'll make a good story, they'll get some writers and make a good action film. So, it just kind of feels a bit hollow, but to be honest, though, like I said, it definitely does feel like a part 1. It definitely does feel like a bigger story, which, you look at Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame, those films do feel very distinctive from each other. They do feel like that's Infinity War and that's Endgame, whereas this kind of does feel like a part 1 and 2. But it's not a bad thing. Yeah, I get it. Some of this wise, they probably changed the name, but
some of them similar threads are coming through. You can see it in the trailer, like the submarine from the last film, and all that stuff. So I get it. You can definitely tell it was part 2. But yeah, this trailer just didn't do it for me. But I'm still excited. I'm not like shitting on this film or saying it's going to be bad. I won't know until I've seen it, and I'm still excited for it because they haven't let me down with the films yet.
I do like the title change though. I think it is pretty cool because it's like
better for the box office.
Reckoning. Yeah, you got Dead Reckoning and then you got Final Reckoning. It's still this story together. I feel like companies, if they do that instead of doing like part 1 and part 2,
try tie it together a bit more in a different way.
Yeah, with the title, I feel like that'd work a bit better. Just don't do a Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Rises. Because that felt very strange.
Yeah. Batman The Dark Knight. Yeah. Yeah, it is quite weird, that titling, actually. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we've got Batman Begins, and we've got The Dark Knight. So...
I mean, The Dark Knight Rises is a cool title. It's just, it feels weird after, if the, like, it's hard to describe. If The Dark Knight, if the first one was called The Dark Knight, and then the second one was called The Dark Knight something, and then you had the third one as The Dark Knight Rises, have that theme in there, then I think that'd probably work a bit better. But, that's just the title. That's not judging the film. That's not, you can't really base anything off of the title. But it's just cool when companies do think of things a bit smarter.
I was just being really dumb as well. I just thought, I'll have a look just to see if it is, because I thought it was, the title for The Dark Knight is just The Dark Knight. No.
Yeah, it is. Did you not know?
I did know, but I was just checking. Because I was like,
No, yeah, it's
yeah.
the Dark Knight.
It's like, there's no Batman in there. Oh, well, Batman is the Dark Knight, but yeah. Anyway. So, what a good segue, Kyle. You know how to do this. Speaking of Batman, the Penguin. Me and Kyle haven't been reviewing this every week, but we're going to do a full series review now. More of just like a discussion.
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers indeed. And I just want to start by saying, fuck you, Oz. Fuck you. Fuck you. I cannot fucking believe he fucking did that. What a fucking prick. But I love it as well because he's a villain. They haven't tried to make him an anti-hero. You know, they didn't even try to give him a sympathetic backstory. They show, oh no, he's a fucking sick, twisted, fucked up kid as well. It's not a reason why he's that way. He's just sick and fucked up. But Kyle, overall, you know, in fact, first of all, can I get a fuck you, Oz?
Fuck you, Oz. Yeah. Yeah, not.
Yeah.
That's a bad Oz.
That's I don't know what I was expecting because Colin Farrell said when this came out, in like the interviews when it first comes out, he says, "I'd be surprised at the end of this if anyone actually likes Oz." And I was liking him, throughout all the episodes, and I was rooting for him. I was like, yeah, he's a bad person. Yeah, he's burning families alive in front of each other, but, go on, stick it to the man, Oz. And then he fucking... Spoilers again. He went and fucking killed Vic. What the fuck?
Yeah, it just... I don't know, I feel like it was the... See, I like this show, Colin, and I like the idea of it. This being a sequel to the Batman, as much as they want to say it is, it kind of is. It's more of a sequel to Gotham and that world and that universe, I guess.
Not the before people have a go. Not that show, Gotham.
No.
Yeah.
Gotham as a character in the universe of the Batman. So that's where I stand on it, and I'm like, okay, right, I'm really excited for this. As soon as I heard this was coming out, it's going to be HBO, Colin Farrell's coming back, he's going full with it. And yeah, I just, overall in the show, I'm not like, oh, I wish Batman was in this. I'm not like that.
I'm glad he won't.
It was more of...
I'm glad he wasn't.
See, I'm in the thing of like, I'm not... If he is or he isn't, it doesn't really matter. It just feels like there wasn't really a presence there. The opening scene of the Batman is his presence and how he's sort of like affected this city and how he's terrified people. And, that they're scared of the dark and dark corners in the city and stuff. And in this, it just felt like, it's like he doesn't exist. Like is this set, it's like, is it set before? Obviously it's not. It's set after, but it just feels like it's so absent. There's no real mention of him. It's like, oh, what if we start getting the cops' attention or something like that? Whatever. And they could have just said one line and I would have been a little bit happier with it. But it just felt very like, it's like the Batman just doesn't exist yet. It's so strange. It's so weird. And I get Batman's obviously not going to be dealing with that stuff at the moment. He's probably got more pressing matters with the city being underwater. Yeah. But at the same time, it's just no one's like afraid or fearing the Batman at all. It's like he just never existed. So that's where I stand with the whole Batman should be in it or shouldn't be in it, whatever. But as a series whole, I enjoyed it. It was fun week to week watching it. I like the character of Vic. Oswald, he was great. The backstory stuff was great. His stuff with his mother was heartbreaking, but kind of sick and twisted.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
It was very fucked up on both sides for the mother and the son. Obviously, the whole Falcons and the Maroni stuff, that was cool. I just think, I don't know, I felt like it was... I just don't think it gelled well with the gangster stuff and Oswald's fucked up situation with his mother and everything. I just don't think that gelled well for me. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I don't think there was anything smart that happens in the show, anything that makes me go, oh, that was a smart thing to do, or that was like, okay, that was a cool twist, or something like that. I just kind of felt like, okay, like, and like you said, it doesn't, you kind of don't, you're not rooting for Oswald, but you are a little bit, and I was kind
Yeah.
of like, towards the end of the show, I was like, why am I kind of rooting for the Penguin, but I'm also rooting for Sophia at the same time. I'm like, I hope she wins because she's kind of the not the innocent one, but she's the one that kind of got fucked over big time. And
I can fix her.
you'd like to see shut up. You'd like to see a bit of justice there or whatever, but it's a show about a villain, and she doesn't get a justice, which okay, cool, it makes sense. But again, towards the end of the show, I was like, why is it kind of making me root for the Penguin a little bit here? Like, it shouldn't do that. And then obviously he goes and kills Vic.
Yeah.
I just felt like that as a very, like, for me at least, I think maybe I need to watch the whole show again as a whole. But for me, it just felt like a bit of a cop out. Like, okay, no, this is, we need to remind you that
No.
Oswald is a villain here. It just felt like I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna do a show about a villain, just show him being a villain in the entire series, and why just kind of make you kind of root for
Because
him,
it's
and then to
more
remind you at the end
heartbreaking and
that he's a
dramatic
villain.
that way. And look, I think if he didn't go through what he just went through with his mother, I think Vic would have still been alive. But I think after that now, and he looks back and reflects on it, and Vic says to him, we're like family, he's like, oh, fuck. There's a couple of reasons why he killed him. One,
See, just to interrupt there,
no.
just briefly before you list off, I feel like if they didn't do the whole Vic thing and they kind of portrayed Penguin as more of a villain in this, and have the sad dramatic moment at the end of the show being that his mother is she's not dead. They could have gone that route, which is, again, I think that's even worse. But they got that route of, she got her penthouse, but she's in a stroke, she's in a coma or whatever. She can't sort of like enjoy it. I think that's like the bittersweet ending you could have done for
Yeah.
this. Just that, and made that more impactful instead of the killing Vic thing.
Well, I don't think the killing Vic thing came out of nowhere. So, look, one is his family, then. And Oz knows now he can't have family. He's already tried that in the past. He's tried to hide his mum and keep her safe. He doesn't want anyone to use Vic against him. And two, he was in Vic's position coming up, and he saw how it ended with him and Sophia. No matter how, nice Sophia was to him, because she was nice to him, Sophia, he still fucked her over and turned her in, and fucking planted all that shit on her so she would be the hangman. So it's kind of like seeing it like, oh, he is me, and he will do to me what I did to Sophia. So let's take him out now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the Vic in the show. Do you know what I mean? It's. But again, I just don't. If they were gonna kill him, fair enough. It's just, don't have that be the thing to remind you, hey, Oswald's a villain, Penguin's a villain.
Well,
That's what it kind of felt like to me.
I think what it was is more of like a commentary of like, more of saying to us, you shouldn't have forgot he's a villain. Everything he's done in this show, he is a bad person. But you're just looking at it through the side of, yeah, fucking get him, Oz, get him, Oz. Everything he's done out of being a bad person.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like,
it's more. I think it's more
like
commentary of like, you fucking idiots forgot that he's a villain. Now we're gonna show you.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, why not just show him being a villain in the entire show then?
They
Just
do.
all dedicated.
That's
to
the
it.
entire show.
Yeah, but he's all like, it just like, I
What
feel
what
like
part of him in this show was heroic?
him. because him taking on Vic and giving him a better life,
Yeah,
like,
for his own
yeah,
selfish needs.
kinda, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he could have. It's like when Vic could have left, midway
Yeah,
through this. Was it midway through the season? Obviously,
and
they
then
just
Oz
sort of let him go.
guilt trips him because he says to him when he fucking runs him over in car, he says, "I fucking knew you'd come back," because he knew he played with his fucking head.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. I'm sorry, Pat. I just don't agree with the whole show him being a villain throughout the show. They do. He burns a mother and son together alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another crime family, but it's fucking villainous and evil.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I agree with you. I think
Yeah.
there is some elements of it, but it's just I don't know. I don't know. It just felt a bit. I don't know. I'm
Shocking. Which it's supposed to
it,
be. The
yeah,
last thing you expect him to do is kill Vic. Because after that,
yeah,
you've been there, everything with my mum and everything. Oh, everything with my ma. You were there, Vic. And then
yeah,
just fucking strangles him. And just fucking.
yeah.
And robs him.
I also want to say as well, just a couple of nitpicks. Like I think the final episode is a great bit of TV. It is a good episode.
Yeah.
It's just there's some bits where I'm like, that was kind of weird, and I didn't like that. The whole him being tied up, and it's like they fucking put sellotape on him, duct tape on him, whatever, and he breaks out of that, and he fucking John Wicks some guys. I didn't like that. I mean, they make it quite obvious that this guy is trouble with his walking and stuff like that, and it's not said to he is skilled with a gun or whatever, but it felt very like, okay, that was a bit. They could have done that a bit better. I think they could have been smarter about that and done something else. Surprise us a little bit. But instead, they went a cheap way out of it. How he escaped Sophia. I didn't like that. Um, I like the flashback stuff though, where you see a young Oswald. That's
Yeah.
kind of disturbing, and we're doing really really well. And hats off to the fella who played Oswald, young Oswald,
Yeah.
because he just sort of like mirrors, Colin
And
Farrell's adaptation of the Penguin.
and this is what I was saying. I love that they didn't give him a sympathetic, oh, there's a reason why he's a villain. He was, he was bullied. He was this, he was that. No, he was just a sick, twisted child who was selfish and just wanted his mum to himself.
Yeah.
But he thought he was doing the right thing. He thought his mum couldn't afford to keep all three of them as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I like that aspect of it, and it shows like a very evil, dark side to him. I just wish they sort of like went into that a bit more rather than the Vic thing, and then have the ending, have the shocker ending of his mum's got the penthouse, but she's in a coma or whatever, and we did get that obviously, and I'm
yeah.
glad we did, because that was a good ending for now for these two characters, him and his mum. But yeah, I don't know, the Vic thing just felt a little strange to me, and I really like the Vic character, but I just felt like
I did as well.
at the same time, Vic felt a little bit out of place.
Yeah,
As being
no,
sort of like,
but I think that was very intentional. He was not made for this world.
yeah,
And you see the things that he does and has to do to survive in this world, and he don't cope well with it, especially after he kills that guy, and Ozzy's all like, "Hey, take rest at night off" and stuff like that. But it just goes back to, he's just manipulating him. That's all he's doing.
yeah. I think the build up of the, all the gangs and stuff getting betrayed by their sort of like deputies or whatnot, I felt like that could have been a little bit better. It could have been built up a bit more, because it just kind of felt a little out of nowhere with the
Yeah.
what was his name? Yeah, he had a name. I can't remember his name. But with a fella who rings Vic, calls up Vic, and they betray,
Yeah.
obviously, their higher ups or whatnot in the gang. That's another thing I wish was built up a bit better. There was, and I know you were saying, Colin, before as well that it does feel like Oswald is on his own in this, and you do get that sense. But at the same time, I'm like, you look at how he was in the Batman, and then you look at him in this. It just feels like it's like these are two different characters. It feels like like I said, this show feels like it's set before the Batman, before he has all this shit, and it just.
No,
Do you know
because
what I mean? Like,
he were Carmine's like dog. You know, he did the dirty business. He ran the front of that club. You know, a big, high, respectable guy like that don't want to be seen as like a sleazy club owner. The Penguin can do that. Oh, the club gets flooded. All right, we'll give him this drug distribution business instead to keep him out of the way.
yeah, no, I just feel like it you know, it kind of was a weird struggle for power for him, and it's like I thought he'd have a bit more power than he would at the start. Do you know what I mean? Like it just felt like.
Well, I think we're going into it with the conception that he actually had power in the Batman. He didn't.
Yeah, it does feel like it though in the Batman film when you see him, it's like oh he's got his nightclub and things like that, and he knows and he's things like that. But
But
yeah,
it's not his club, is it?
yeah,
So he is literally just being the face for this sleazy company. But you know, one thing before we wrap this up, I just want to say if Colin Farrell does not get nominated for an Emmy for this, and what's the woman's name who plays Sophia Falcone / Gigante? Christy, is it?
I don't know, mate. Check your history.
Good idea.
The Kristen Mill. I don't want to say her surname because I might fuck it up.
Miloti.
Miloti. There you go.
Kristen Miller, maybe.
I'll say this as well. One other slight nitpick I had was at the very end when Sophia's, she gets driven out by the Penguin and
She gets driven out by Oz.
Yes, yeah. And he's holding the gun at the back of the head, and she didn't hear him walk back with his stumpy leg or get in the car, close the fucking door and drive off. She didn't hear any of that. She just stood there and was like, oh.
It reminds me of, them old videos of Batman, but you see him running away. Like Gordon turning round and you see Batman running away. He doesn't just disappear. Yeah. But like that with Oz, just like hobbling away.
Yeah, I really hope we get some sort of meme of that where you just see like an alleyway. She turns around and there's an alleyway and you just see him running away, like some shitty edit for a meme. But
yeah,
that was something I was like, okay, that was a bit dumb. They could have done it. They could have done it smarter. In what way, I don't know, because I'm not a TV director or whatever, but or a writer. But they definitely could have done things a little bit smarter with the show and surprised us a bit more.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I loved this show. I thought it was great. Is it greatest comic book show of all time? No, I don't think it is. But I think it really complements the world of the Batman really well. Unlike you, I think it fits right in that universe and only fleshes it out even more. I didn't think we were going to get a season 2, but now I'm actually very convinced we're going to get a season 2 of the Penguin.
We'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm happy to watch it, and it's nice to have this as a sequel for this universe, I guess. It just felt a little disconnected. I think when the Batman Part 2 comes out, I think, having this in the middle might help. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely. And this is, what you call it? The Batman Part 2 starts as soon as this finishes. And we get a nice little tease to that right at the end of this. Yeah. We get that bat signal. Really thought we'd see Jim Gordon if we were going to see anyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, they're probably held up doing something, and they'll probably have a line there where it's like, you've been quite absent, or blah, blah, blah. And, maybe maybe he has been absent because he's had to be Bruce Wayne. He's had to try help the city
Yeah.
in a different way in that respect. So I get it, but it's just again that fear of the Batman
But
being around. It's just
also,
absolute.
from the beginning of the Batman, that fear of the Batman was very much on lower level criminals. Oz invites, when he's in club, he walks up to him, he's like, hey, take it easy, come on, sit down, let's have a chat. That was very much the lower level criminals. He's only just breaking into that, underworld, and I think by the end of it, he will have made a name for himself that even criminals like Oz fear him. I think Oz, is getting there, but even when him and Jim Gordon captured him, he was taking piss. He was like, about the Spanish and stuff like that, and I'm not knowing Spanish. And he's like, hey, world's greatest detectives.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, it's a good point. I just because it's based off of a Batman.
Yeah.
This is Batman. This is Batman's universe. I would have just liked to have something, just a little nod to it there that Batman exists in this fucking world, but it just felt very absent. That's all.
I bet throughout this entire thing that Oz didn't even think about Batman once, because he knows all Batman will do is punch him, maybe chuck him in jail, but he knows because he hides his shit well, they ain't got no on him. What he was really scared of is them crime families. That's who'll do you bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No. In total, where's your head at? Out of 10.
Out of 10, I'd give it a 9.
Okay.
For all of it, especially with the episode with Sophia in Arkham. I thought that was great. The flashbacks episodes with Oz. Just all the acting, was fantastic. Especially Sophia. She stole every scene she was in. And so I think she needs to get nominated. Colin Farrell needs to get nominated. And if they don't, it's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, where have you got it at?
I'm sitting at, after talking about it with you, because it's good to get another perspective, of course. I was sitting at around a 7, but I think I'll bung it up to a 7.5. I think. I would recommend.
I would say
definitely watch it.
Give it another 0.5, and I'll take a 0.5 off the next thing you want me to.
No.
You sure?
I'm staying with what I say. Yeah, sticking to my word.
All right. What if I sent a Red Bull to your house? Just one.
I'm good. I will say this:
2.
I will commend it for not doing what the Batman did. I think it was a big mistake in the Batman is introducing like the Joker and just having that kind of there. Do you know what I mean? I would much rather prefer having something a little bit more with the Penguin to maybe help set the show up a little bit more as well. Not that it needed it, but I'd rather have that in place of what we got introducing the Joker so early and it feeling, again, so absent. Do you know what I mean? Kind of random.
Oh, fucking Catwoman sending fucking Sophia letters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see where that goes.
Yeah. Might get a Catwoman show. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Right. I'm not. Right, guys. I think that'll do us for today. Just, let me and Kyle know how we did. Did we do good? Did we do bad? We've been really feeling love on channel lately. We've been getting a few comments here and there. We got one that made Kyle cry. I won't say which one it is because you'll all just start typing it. It was a comment I did, actually. So yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, you want to say, Kyle, before we go?
No.
All right, well, that's pretty good because I was going to say in 5 words or less, but no is 5 words or less. So you did very good, Kyle.
Thank you.
All right, you've got 3 words left. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, 2 words. Yeah, yeah. You didn't just say thank. Oh, you got 1 left.
Dumbass. I was gonna say dumbass instead of yeah, but that would have been funny.
Yeah.
With my last 2 words. Dumbass.
Yeah, well, you've already got over your word limit, mate, so now I'm going to kill you. But right, guys, thanks for watching, and you might see us tomorrow. Me and Kyle are feeling extra motivated lately. Kyle actually sent me a video of him playing with his Winky earlier, saying he's thinking about movies and beyond, so see you later.